What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at Neca's Pee Wee. That's right, Ultimate Pee Wee Herman. Let's see what we've got going on. Let's check it out.
It's fun to pretend that you want it to end. I'd rather be a drinking with my friends. When we go out, you never see us again.
As promised, today we'll be taking a look at Pee Wee Herman. So let's see what we've got going on. Taking a look at the package, we are sort of on your typical Ultimate package from Neca. However, instead of the flap here to reveal the window, they've given us a cutout in the shape of the playhouse door. However, it is taped down, so you won't be able to preview this figure in the store without removing those tape pieces, but that's okay, we'll do that here. Before we do that though, that's what you see at the store. You get a nice little window to see Pee Wee's face there, logo at the top with Pee Wee Herman over on the side. There is an image of your figure with all of your classic logoing as well. Flip it to the back, some additional images of what's in the box. So you've got Pee Wee, he's got the extra faces, he's got Terry with him, includes the secret word card. So you like that. And of course, there will be extra hands in here. Flip it to the side. Again, another little bit of imagery there. Paul Rubens at the bottom, Pee Wee Herman logo at the top. Let's open this flap. So there you go. It's a modified version of your Ultimate figure type box, right? Although, like I said, they have it there, so you get the door to the playhouse. It is a nice feature. Absolutely understand why they have it taped down. It just does take away from your in-store experience. But there you go. You can see everything there. He's got the extra hands, extra heads. They didn't go with faceplates for him. Your words of the day are going to be Ultimate and Neca. And there is Terry at the bottom. But let's get him out of the box. Here's a quick look at your box insert. So you can see it's the inside of the playhouse. You've got the windows there, as you might remember. The door, of course, on the reverse side of what we see on the outside of the box. So certainly something you could use as a little backdrop for your display. Fresh out of the box, here's a figure that I am glad to have. Once I saw that this was going to be a thing, I knew it was one that I was going to be looking for, and it does not disappoint. It really does capture the essence of Pee Wee Herman, and never did I think that I would have an action figure in the modern era of Pee Wee Herman, so it's a little bit of excitement and a lot to love there. That nostalgia is just bubbling up inside, and my childhood is calling, and I'm answering the call, folks. So I love the figure. It's exactly what I would expect it to be. Look, I don't need a Mafex Pee Wee Herman, right? He's not going to be doing anything dynamic pose-wise. He's going to just, get into a pose and go into the display, and I'm going to be very content with that. Now, I said I love the figure. Of course, we're going to go into it. We'll look at it a little bit closer. Some of these head sculpts probably aren't as good as others, and they leave a little bit to be desired. But there is one that is particularly very well executed and will be the one that will be displayed on my shelf. So let's take a step back. Let's take a look at the figure a little bit closer. You do get your cards with your word of the day. So these are, freshly printed from Conky. We've got Neca and we've got Ultimate. Now, would I like this to be something else? Maybe throw in some other words, have a little fun with this? Absolutely. But look, if you're going to do this, Neca, why not, right? Ultimate Neca. It's what it is. It's what we got. It's 2 words to choose from. What I especially love is that they threw Terry in here. Now, I have no idea how deep Neca is going to go into this. Sometimes they'll give us a few things and then leave us high and dry on some stuff. Dinosaurs, Back to the Future, etc. But they did throw this in there, and if I get nothing else, I guess I'm at least happy that I have Terry to go along with Pee Wee. Now, I do hope that there is more in the pipeline, but it is at least something. And look, he's got some articulation points, right? So he's got movement at the head. He's got movement at the wings, so you can flap his wings around. His beak moves, so you can move that. I love it. It's a little tiny thing, probably didn't have to have any articulation, but they threw some in there, and I do like that. Moving in closer, we can get a good look at Pee Wee and this first head sculpt. Now, this does look pretty on point, right? Like, I'm never going to give NECA any flack for their efforts on head sculpt and detail, right? Like, that's what draws me to NECA. It's a good price point, it's good detail, dollar to detail, right? So I'm always here for it. I don't think I love this head sculpt very much. It's not maybe just not a good look here. Sort of this half smirk doesn't really capture the essence of Pee Wee Herman for me. But does it look like Paul Rubens? Sure, yeah, it does. So that's good in and of itself. It's just not the ideal head sculpt for me. Detail of the figure though looks good. You can even see some of the etching into the suit to give it that real pattern like it had in the show. Gives a lot of extra detail just with the sculpting in there. So I really like how that comes through, and it even shows on camera, so you gotta like that. Bow tie, nice red pop to it. It's got the handkerchief in the pocket there. White socks, white shoes, even the right type of shoes. So it's all there, all the right details for this figure. Let's look at these hands and heads. For your first set of hands, you do get your open set of hands. And then the rest are going to be a variety of open hands. So you've got slightly more open like this, and then more of your grasping hands so you can hold that word of the day. Just like that. So whenever you see NECA, you know what to do.
The rest of the day, whenever anyone says a secret word, scream real loud.
He then has another sort of grabbing option, slightly more closed, but enough to grasp. And then the other one of these gripping hands. Or maybe he just found a good recipe. He did come with an odd number of hands, so your leftover hand in this case is going to be this much more open, slightly relaxed palm hand here. Here's a look at your first alternate head. Now, the first head that I had on there, I said it really did capture the Paul Rubens likeness. This one, it's got the real like fun factor, really kind of goofiness to it. But I feel like the teeth get lost there, so it maybe doesn't come off in reality how they meant in idea, right? So again, it does capture the likeness. There is certainly there is a use for it in the display, but again, not the one I'm gonna go with. So for me, it's got to be the screaming head, right? It's like he just got the word of the day. Somebody said the word of the day. And now we're in full scream mode. So that really does capture a certain essence of the show and what I remember and what I personally want to capture on my shelf. For your articulation, the head will look down to about there, chin just about touching the chest. It hits the bow tie. You do have a double neck though, so you do get some good range of motion there, both at the top and at the bottom. So that does give you a little bit of extra flexibility. However, as I say that, I mean, he's not looking back and up, right? You're basically just going to look straight forward, out and about. Some good movement side to side though, because you do have that bell in there at the top. And then, like I said, you do have the joint at the bottom of the neck as well. The suit coat is made of a pliable plastic, so it's not going to restrict your arms at all. You do get that range all the way around. Arm does go up and out to about there. Nothing at the upper, and then you do have your joint at the elbow. Standard neck articulation here. Hinge at the wrist, and you get that movement around. You get plenty of movement in the torso. Seems like you got a little bit of an ab crunch up at the top there, and then you do get that ball at the waist down towards the bottom of the torso there. Leg will kick up to about there, back only to about there, and then up and out to there. Nothing at your upper thigh, joint at your knee, and then your hinge and swivel at the ankle. For comparison, here he is backed up against your Marvel Legends Pizza Spidey. So a little bit taller, lankier Spider-Man, but you could still see much shorter than your 7-inch scale NECA figures, Pee Wee coming in at the taller height. And here he is backed up against NECA's Ultimate Bio-Exorcist Beetlejuice with the expression that I imagine Pee Wee Herman would have if he encountered Beetlejuice. And here he is backed up against Super 7's Conky. This was like on a 2019 retro card situation, if I recall correctly. I think it'll look okay for now in the display, but I do hope that NECA continues down this line and gives us some more of the Playhouse features, you know, Cherry, Conky, Jambi, anything, you know, even Miss Yvonne, you know, I'll take what I can get. So I just kind of would like to build out a little bit there. But for now, I think this Conky will pair pretty nicely with this NECA Pee Wee. All right, folks. Well, there you have it. There is your ultimate NECA Pee Wee Herman. It's coming out with Target's Haulathon, right? So some people have started to find this over the last couple of weeks. I've actually had this figure for a couple of weeks myself, just now getting around to the review of it. But it is one that I did want to open up and take a look at because it's something that I really hold near and dear to my childhood and was looking forward to adding to my display. This is a figure that I've really been waiting a long time for, so one that had a lot of room to disappoint, but I personally I don't think it did. You know, like I said, NECA does have its flaws with some of the articulation schemes, a little bit of fragility, paint chipping, but at the end of the day, the figures really do come out very nice for the price point that you're paying for them, and I think they always display very well. It's a line that really got me into collecting and one that I continue to look forward to getting, right? So yeah, I don't have a lot of bad things to say about this. Some of the head sculpts are okay. I like this expressive one though. I think it goes with what I want to do in my display. Hand options are, you know, whatever. I mean, you got some grabbing hands, which are good. They go with the word of the day there. The big draw for me, the really like the cherry on top is adding Terry into this set. As I said at the beginning of the video, if we don't get anything else from them on this line of Pee Wee Herman, at least we have Terry to go along, so it's not just Pee Wee in the display. Of course, give me more. I will take it. You know, whatever you're thinking about NECA, just do it. That's all I'm hoping for. So, folks, that's the 2 cents. I appreciate you checking out the video. Of course, you can always find me on any of these socials down here. Most importantly, though, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe below. And until next time, take it easy.